Welcome to my YouTube channel Wise Whispers, where silence speaks. The fork slipped from my hand and hit the plate with a sharp clink. No one noticed because her voice was louder. The mortgage old man. The words didn't just echo in the dining room, they echoed inside me. I sat there, Felix, 67 years old, surrounded by people I once called family, feeling invisible, except in the exact moment I was being humiliated. It was supposed to be a happy dinner. Daniel, my son, had insisted. "Dad, it's been a while. Let's all sit together." Like old times. Strange how that phrase can hurt, because old times meant warmth, laughter, a home filled with love. Now it meant tension wrapped in polite smiles. It meant silence filled with things no one dared to say until tonight. House that changed without me. There was a time this house felt alive. Margaret, my wife, used to hum softly in the kitchen. Daniel would run through the halls, laughing, calling out, "Dad, look at me." Back then, this place wasn't just walls and a roof, it was a life. But Margaret was gone now, and slowly, everything else changed too. Clara leaned back in her chair, arms crossed like she had just spoken a simple truth. "Well," she said sharply, "are you going to say something or just sit there?" I lifted my eyes slowly. "I don't think this is appropriate." "Oh, it's very appropriate," she snapped. "We're all pretending everything is fine when it's not." Shifted uncomfortably. "Clara, please." "No, Daniel, he needs to hear this." She pointed at me. "You live here. You eat here, you use everything here. But when it comes to responsibility, nothing." Each word hit like a stone, small but heavy enough to bruise something deep. "I paid for this house," I said quietly. A silence fell, then Clara laughed. "You did," past tense. That one sentence said everything, and Daniel said nothing. The weight of trust. Months earlier, Daniel had come to me with papers. "Just a refinance, Dad. It'll help us manage things better." I didn't question him, I signed. Because when you spend your life protecting someone, you don't expect them to use your trust against you. "How much?" I asked. "That we need your help," Clara replied immediately. "I already help," I said. "Groceries, bills, that's basic," she cut in. "You live here full time, you should pay like everyone else." I almost smiled, because once everyone else depended on me. A father remembers. I looked at Daniel. "When you were 8 and broke your bicycle, who fixed it?" "You did." "When you failed your first interview and came home ready to give up, who stayed up all night with you?" "You." "And when you wanted to get married but had no money for a house, who gave you everything he saved?" His eyes filled with tears. "You did, Dad," I nodded. "Now you're sitting here while I'm told I don't contribute to the house I built." Silence, heavy, unavoidable. Clara rolled her eyes. "This isn't about the past." "No," I said softly. "It's about both." Night everything changed. "I think I've said enough," I said, standing up. "Where are you going?" Clara asked. "For a walk." "The middle of dinner," I paused. "I don't feel like eating anymore." That night I walked for hours, cold air, empty streets, but inside me something woke up. Not anger, not sadness, clarity. Margaret's voice echoed in my mind. "Felix, kindness is beautiful, but don't let it erase you." I didn't understand it back then, now I did. Silence that speaks. When I came back, Daniel was waiting. "Dad, I'm sorry." I looked at him. "Are you sorry for what she said, or for not stopping her?" He didn't answer. That silence told me everything. That night I closed my door, and for the first time in years I didn't feel like a father. I felt like a man who had been slowly erased. The decision. The next morning I woke up early, earlier than usual, and I made a decision. I wouldn't argue, I wouldn't beg. I would take back what I had given away, my dignity, my place, myself. Truth in paper. I reviewed everything, documents, agreements, ownership, and what I found changed everything. Yes, Daniel had added himself. Yes, things had shifted. But I was still the primary owner. My name still mattered, more than they thought, more than I realized. I contacted a lawyer. "You have options," he said calmly. For the first time in a long time, I believed that. The quiet before the storm. At home, nothing changed. Clara acted normal. Daniel avoided me, and I stayed quiet, not weak. Just waiting. 2 weeks later, everything was ready. The day I chose myself. "Sit down," I said calmly. They did. Confused, I placed a folder on the table. "What's this?" Clara asked. "Answers." Opened it. His face changed instantly. "Dad, what is this? You tell me." His hands trembled. "You sold the house." Clara stood up. "What?" "Yes," I said calmly. "You can't do that," she shouted. "I lived here first." "You didn't even discuss." "Tried," I said. At dinner, silence. Daniel looked broken. "Where are we supposed to?" Looked at him. "That's something you should have thought about before making me feel like I didn't belong." "Revenge, a boundary. This is revenge," Clara snapped. I said, "This is a boundary." Whispered, "I'm sorry, Dad." "Yes," I said quietly, "you should be. But I didn't mean to hurt you." "I know. But not meaning to hurt someone doesn't undo the hurt." Last 30 days I packed slowly. Not because I had much, but because everything had meaning. A photo, a book, Margaret's scarf. Clara avoided me. Daniel tried, but failed to fix things, and I didn't force anything. Some lessons must be felt. Goodbye. On the last day, the house felt empty, like it already knew I was gone. I walked into the garden. Margaret's roses were still blooming, always strong, always beautiful. "You kept this place alive," I whispered. Behind me, Dad, Daniel. "I don't know how to fix this." "Sometimes," I said, "you can't fix things, only learn from them." "Will you come back?" I looked at the house, then at him. No, I left. A new beginning. The cottage was small, quiet, peaceful. Mine the first night. Silence, but not empty silence. Peaceful silence. Days turned into weeks. I began living again. Morning walks, hot tea, books, cooking, breathing, smiling. Simple things, real things. A son learns one evening. Dad, I miss you. I know, I've been thinking. You were right. About what? Respect. Yes, I said. You forgot. Trying to change. That's good. Weeks later he visited, different, humbled. We sat in silence, comfortable silence. I'm proud of you, he said. For what? For choosing yourself. I smiled. It took me 67 years. What remains, Clara never came, never called, and that was okay, because peace doesn't come from everyone understanding you, it comes from understanding yourself. The final realization. One evening, I sat on my porch, sunset across the hills, golden light, stillness, and I thought about everything, that dinner, those words, that pain, and I realized that moment didn't break me, it woke me up. Final words. I was Felix, 67 years old, and for the first time in years I wasn't invisible. I had my dignity, my peace, my life. Moral of the story: you can love people deeply, sacrifice for them, give them everything. But if you lose yourself in the process, you lose everything. Respect is not something you beg for, it's something you protect. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is walk away and choose yourself.